Good morning! So I've just got to work. I'll probably update you on the work situation. Basically, as you know, Monday, it was the day I handed my notice in. Then I come in Tuesday morning and my assistant has also handed her notice in. So yeah, quite a lot. My poor boss is currently on holiday for 2 weeks. So not ideal at all. So we are now, me and my assistant are now doing alternate days in because we've got holiday to use that until like the 21st. And then I'm in for 3 days and then done. My last day is 23rd and then I go to Spain. So good. Like, really happy that I get every other day off because that gives me so much time to like get shit done. Like, wow, like how much can I do with like a whole day off? Crazy. However, mean that while I'm now at work, I have to do all the normal things, you know, that 2 people would normally do as a single person, for the 2 brands, because there's two brands. Also prepare a handover for the 2 job roles for the 2 brands. Yeah, so quite a lot of work to do, and also like sort this out because this is a shit show. We started the handover situation. It's a lot. I think so far the document is 45 pages long. It's a lot, but we're doing it, it's fine. I'm just really grateful that we can have the days off. This is good, this is lovely. So, what do I need to do today? Oh, people are being difficult. Good morning! How's it going? Okay, let's do an update. So, yeah, since we last spoken, we've done some things. We've got some things done. We've been productive. Focus on my face. Focus on my face. Is it really blurry or is it me? Is it auto-adjusting? Did it just not like my face? I think maybe it is, and I think maybe it's just me looking at it funny. I've got like my washing and stuff in the background, so we're blocking that out. We're pretending it doesn't exist. It's the cute end of the room, and then like it's annoying because I can't have you here because the light will be behind me, so you have to come from this way. And I'm just too lazy to move it, so this is where we are. Anyway, I've got my coffee, my second coffee of the day. That's okay, that's fine. I've got my notebook for all my notes and my stuff. It's actually like my journal, but I just put everything in it. It's easier to have it all in one place. If you're planning on going traveling, get a journal. It was the best thing I ever did when I was traveling. I've now continued. This is like my 5th journal. Write in it every day, love it. It gives me purpose, like, and to look back and read a travel journal, oh my god, like it's so funny. It can be like a really little one. You can put like 1 line in a day. You can just do it on your notes on your phone. A girl who used to do like a voice note every day at the end of the day and just like say what she did and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's a good tip. Thursday, I went and saw my friend Gina, who, oh my god, she gave me this, which is like the biggest Lonely Planet travel book I ever did see. She referred to it as the Bible, and like I get that. So I've had like a look through some of that, and oh my god, Gina gave me all the information ever. Like, I was with her for like 2.5 hours maybe, and she just like unloaded on me like in the best possible way. And like she went through like her photos that she took in, like she's like organized her photos into like the countries and places she was in, which is so good. She went through and she was like, oh my god, we did this and we did this and recommend this and don't bother doing this, and like that's so useful. It was a lot of information, I can't lie, but I've made notes on like important things, and she sent me, bless her, like this is also when you're traveling, like writing notes of like things you've done work. She sent me this, like all the places she's been, things like that things she didn't get to do, things she wanted to do, things that she wouldn't do if she went back, like so much stuff. Like, love that, amazing. So like my first port of call was like talking to people I know who have been, because I think that's like a really good place to start, instead of like just like diving head in and being like overwhelmed. Like I'm overwhelmed anyway, like not necessarily negatively overwhelmed, but it's just like, like once you start, it's like, when does it end? Does it ever stop? What's the right thing? What's the wrong thing? Really random people have reached out and given me like advice. Like also like the number one thing everyone's saying is like, learn Spanish. Like you need to know basic Spanish. Well, like not that you need to know, but it will benefit you massively to know basic Spanish. So I've got like an 18-day streak on Duolingo, and like, yeah, it's not like the best way of learning Spanish, but like we're doing it. There's my 18-day streak. Right, so start learning Spanish. Even if it's like just like numbers, time, like a little bit of conversational Spanish just to like get you by a little bit. Because yeah, in a lot of places they just don't speak English. So the next thing is I asked about vaccines, and I also spoke to my friend Laura, who was an estate agent at Trail Finders. I had completely forgotten that she did that for 3 years. So I FaceTimed her just to catch up on Wednesday, and then she started like, she was like, oh, so yeah, South America, blah 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 blah, and I was like, oh my god, you know, I forgot, so that was really useful. Like use the people in your life that you know. Like even if you like saw someone on Instagram, oh my god, reach out to them, because they will thrive giving you the information. Like it makes them feel really good, they can relive it. Like it's like when anytime I've been to anywhere and someone's like asked me a question about it, I'm like, oh my god, like let me send you all the information I have ever. Like I would sit and make itineraries for people if they asked me like where I went in Lisbon, for example. Like so like ask people if you know they've been there, because they'll probably want to share it with you. Like when I saw Gina on Thursday, oh my god, like she was like vibrating with energy of like, oh my god, we did this. Like she was like reliving it and was loving it. So yeah, just ask people, reach out to people, they'll be more than happy to share, I'm sure. And then if you don't know anyone, yeah, TikTok, YouTube. Vaccines, that's it. So vaccine wise, yellow fever is recommended in most places, but is mandatory in some countries. If you go from a recommended country to another recommended country, it becomes mandatory. So to avoid any issues, get yellow fever, just do it. And Gina also recommended getting rabies, because it's not essential, you don't need to get it, and it's an expensive jab. It's like £170, I think, but worth the price. Like someone Gina knew got bit by a dog on a beach and was like going around trying to find the, what's it called? The thing, the anti-thing, the antidote. Is it an antidote? The anti-vaccine for it, and was like, he was like traveling back and forth for like 5 hours at a time, like getting to one city. They didn't have any there, considering like rabies is a real thing there. Like most places don't have the vaccine, the anti-vaccine, the thing, you know, to treat it. They don't have the treatment. So he had to keep going back on bus to have the thing, and you know, it just became stress. So obviously it doesn't like prevent you from getting rabies, but it gives you more time to like deal with it. So it's not like, oh my god, I have to act now before, you know, the bad things happen. So yeah, for not to scare anyone, but yeah, for peace of mind, I'm getting it. I'm getting yellow fever and I'm getting rabies. I've had all the other ones, I think, because I've been to Africa and Bali in 2018 and over 2018 and 2019. So I'm double checking that they're still valid, because I don't know the rules. I did call the doctors and got a medical history of all my vaccines, but the ones that I got in 2018 were done through a private company called Master, I think. So the doctors didn't actually have record of the ones that I had, which was Hep A and typhoid, I don't remember. But they didn't have record of them. So I'm gonna have to contact my doctors and be like, can you update this? Because I've had these and you need to know that I've had these, and I need to know that I've had these. Like just put it on the system. I thought that they would talk to each other, but it turns out they haven't. So yeah, vaccines, it's really easy to just Google what's needed. What I will say is, my friend Laura, who worked for Trail Finders, she was like, order a brochure. The brochures are free. Go on Trail Finders website and order a brochure, and at the back of the, like, they're really good anyway for just like things to do, but they do them in like packages, and like not like backpacker packages, like they're more of a premium, like luxury travel almost. I think they do some backpacker ones, but in the brochure I'm seeing like super nice stuff, which is also nice to see. But yeah, at the back they have this thing, this page, which is a fabulous page. And on this fabulous page, it gives you a guide of climate, and it's called Climate and Information Guide. So it gives you the average temperatures of each country at every month, like throughout the months of the year, and also gives you the rainfall, because I forgot hurricane season and like wet seasons are a thing. So need to know that. Then it says like what visas you need. I don't actually think you need any visas at all. I think it's fine to just like go on like a travel visa. Gina said that no one asked her for any. When I'm Googling it, I'm not seeing that you need any. I think it's just like, as long as you're leaving within a certain time, you might have to prove that you're leaving the country. That's another thing. You might have to have a flight out booked. If you are like backpacking and you don't have a set plan, there are lots of like websites and apps where you can book a fake flight, so it looks like you're leaving the country, and it costs you like a tenner, and then the company just cancel it, so you don't actually get the flight, and it's just cost you a tenner, so you don't have to book one on the spot if you don't know what your plan is, basically. And that's quite like a well-known thing. That's like, it's not like a really dodgy thing. Like a lot of people use that and do that. Or you can just book a cheap bus ticket and just don't turn up. So there are options for that, so you don't actually have to have a real flight booked out that's going to cost you X amount of money. Like you can buy a cheap one and then just cancel it, or they'll cancel it for you. So that's another thing to bear in mind, which, yeah, things I hadn't thought about until I had spoken to these people. So yeah, visas, time zones, flight times from London, which is, you know, I guess quite useful. And then here, the immunizations, the vaccines that you need. And malaria guides, because malaria is a thing and we need to be prepared. Like, do you know why it feels like, oh, like it's information overload? Like there's a lot going on, there's a lot to know. And before you start, like you can't really be overwhelmed because you don't know how much. Like you feel overwhelmed because it's like the unknown, but then when you start doing it, you're like, oh, like I need to know the visas and the vaccines. I need to know the climates and when to go to each country and like what's the best route, and I need to have a flight booked out, and do I need this, and blah, 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 blah. SIM cards. You'll need a SIM card for each country. I'm gonna look into getting an eSIM, which I believe is more expensive, but then you can swap between the things. Like while it's in, you don't have to physically like swap the SIM cards back, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but that's like my understanding of it. Otherwise, yeah, like SIM cards are really cheap, really easy. They're everywhere, buy them at the airport. So yeah, just when you get there, pick one up, put it in, and then yeah, your phone works. Because otherwise, yeah, it's a bit, I think especially as a solo traveler, like having your phone is like, for me, like I will definitely be getting a SIM card. Like if you're maybe going with someone else, like maybe it's not essential, maybe you're just like, oh, I'll just use Wi-Fi when I have it, fine, cool, like that's probably a really nice way of doing it. But because I am on my own, like I'm gonna get that, I'm gonna need that as just like security more than anything. Other things to think about, if you're gonna be doing lots of mountainous hiking and stuff, like for example, I'm looking at doing Machu Picchu and the Inca Trail around Peru. You can't go from sea level to all the way fucking up in the mountains like overnight. Like you will throw up everywhere, and that's just not nice, and that's like nightmare for me. So I think it's Cusco that you stay before you do the treks. So try and stay places like that, in that kind of like situation, for a couple of days before, just to acclimatize to, you know, the altitude, to avoid throwing up everywhere, because that's not very nice. We don't like that. So that's another thing. I still don't know what I'm doing. I haven't really looked at flights. I think it's going to cost me at least $1,000, really. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm not going to slum it for a flight. Like I know some people will get like a 40-hour changeover so they can spend half the price on the flights. I'm not that person. I don't want to have a layover on my own for 20 hours just for a cheaper flight. Like, because of the position I'm in, I don't need to do that. I'd rather just get there as quick as possible. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I like my sleep and I like being fresh and ready and energized, and I don't want to start off a big thing being like miserable and tired and grouchy. So I will not be doing it. Like, I'm 26. I'm not 22 anymore. She took hiking boots with her but only wore them twice. She basically wore trainers the whole time, but she said if you go anywhere in wet season you will be needing more sturdy shoes. So I'm still thinking I will have to buy some hiking boots. If you are going to be buying new shoes, wear them the fuck in before you go, because like the amount of people who will buy hiking boots specifically for a trip and not have worn them before, and then will go hiking for 5 days and will be crying because they have blisters everywhere. You know, come on, let's think things through, shall we? Yeah, also I probably will occasionally stay in a hotel or an Airbnb and like escape the hostel life, because yeah, I'm 26, I live on my own, I love my own space. I can slum it, don't you worry about me. I can get down and dirty. If I have to camp in the jungle, I can camp in the jungle. Take everything away from me, I'm okay. Like, I can do it. Would I like an opportunity to be in a luxurious hotel or an Airbnb in my own space, doing my own thing, having a great time? Yes, I would like that. Yeah, I think I'm just older now. Like, I lived in a 12-bed hostel for 5-6 months in Melbourne, and at the time I was thriving, loved it. Do I want to be woken up by people throwing up in the middle of the night anymore? No. That's another thing. Hostels, they will have specific party hostels. So if you want to party, go to the party hostel. It's made for you. You'll love it. Have a great time. Send me a postcard. I will not be there. I will be in the other hostel, the quieter hostel, where people go to bed at a reasonable hour. If I'm going to be waking up at 5 o'clock to hike up a mountain, if I'm in a party hostel and people are still sing at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm waking up, no, it's not for me. It's not for me. No, my days are over. And yeah, I'll still go out, I'll still have a good time. I'm still a fun gal, but within reason. Yeah, my life has just pivoted like massively, and that's just not how I really have fun anymore. I've become really boring, to be honest with you. I'm not wild and feral like I used to be, like I once was back in the day. Cards, credit cards and debit cards and payment. Take multiple cards with you. If you don't have a Monzo, if you don't have a Revolut, get one immediately. Get both, because it's always best to have multiple options. Go to Western Unions. She said in Argentina, but I think they're everywhere. And you can get cash out, and you can get a lump sum of cash out, and you're not charged for it with Western Union. Whereas a lot of the ATMs that you just see on the street and use, you'll be charged to take money out. And there was something about a rate and you get double. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. She did tell me, but she also told me a lot of other things. But basically take a lot of cards with you, because some ATMs will eat your card or clone your card. Like, just have backups. Just have backups. Also, another thing, another app she told me about, which is just for funsies. It's called, fuck, where's it gone? I downloaded it. It was like a penguin, walking penguin. Oh fuck, it's come off my phone. World Packers and Workaway. Also, if you want to do any work while you're there, or stay in, have accommodation for free in exchange for working. So for example, I'm going to look into doing Workaways where I can have free accommodation and food in exchange for creating content for like different like Airbnbs or hostels or whatever, like, because obviously like I'm a content creator, so if I can have free accommodation and like live with like local people, like that's really fun and exciting. You can go and work in a hostel in exchange for free accommodation. So if you are trying to be more on a budget, there are things like that that exist, so you can like move around without paying for accommodation and food, and just doing like a couple of hours of work a day. I'm gonna find this app for you because it was called like Penguin Find a Penguin. It's an app that tracks your trail. So you can like activate it by like dropping a footprint, I understand. That's what I've been told, I think. So you can like drop a footprint, and then if you're walking around a city or a country or all the places, it tracks you, so you can go back on it and see where you've been. So like it was really useful for Gina because she could go on the app and be like, oh my god, look at this, like this is where I've been, like we did this and we did this and we did this, and then yeah, quite fun. So yeah, just try and like put everything down, write everything down, all the information you're getting, like try and be as methodical with it as possible, like write everything in your notes. I honestly recommend getting a journal because like me putting it in paper really helps. So yeah, at the moment I'm in the researching stage. Nothing is being booked yet. I'm still deciding on where I'm going. But that is the information update I've been given, and I'm seeing my sister's husband today, and he's been to South America, so I will ask him because he will be very factual with me and give me all the information I need, so that would be really good. Then I'm seeing my friend Beth next Sunday, and she went to South America when she was 19 on her own because she's a crazy bitch. So I'm going to see her and pick her brains and get her to teach me some Spanish also, because obviously I need help. So yeah, that's the update. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.